Women's basketball stays undefeated in Horizon League play.
Men's basketball keeps the streak alive.
All this and more on the Penguin Rundown. Welcome in, everybody. We're your hosts this week, Chris Colella, alongside with Matt Ganser. Matt, you've been on camera before, but your first time hosting, right?
Yeah, I'm real excited to get some great sports this week.
All right, sounds good to me. And we're going to start you off right off the top with some women's golf.
Let's do it. The women's golf team continues their spring season as they head to the Edwin Watts Kiowa Island Classic from the 24th to the 26th in South Carolina. The team is coming off a second-place team finish at the Motor City Cup back on February 5th. Adding on to that momentum, last week the women were picked to finish first in the 2019 Horizon League Women's Golf preseason poll. The league's head coaches agree YSU is a force to be reckoned with as the Gwins received 6 of 8 first-place votes. Last year the Penguins finished 7th in the Horizon League, but this year the women look stronger than ever. After a successful fall season and a virtual rewriting of the YSU record books, the Gwins are prepared for a great season. Led by Caitlin Shutt and her impressive accumulation of records, the women are poised and ready to take the Horizon League by storm this spring. You can follow the women's golf team and check live stats and updates at ysusports.com.
Women's tennis took on Toledo this past Friday in Streetsboro. They would end up losing a close match by a score of 4-3. Amanda Seam and Lucia Zeger would pick up a doubles victory alongside with Claudia Barboza and Elvira Estillo. Singles victories by Tamara Tufel and Lisa Kamasi would give the Penguins a 3-2 lead. But the Rockets would then rally to take the match. The team will be in action on March 10th when they will travel to the West Coast to take on Cal State Fullerton. For results, visit ysusports.com. Over to the men's side, the men's team had 2 matches over the weekend. Their first event was at the Western Reserve Tennis Center in Streetsboro, where they defeated the Toledo Rockets. Multiple Penguins took home singles victories. Those players were seniors Danilo Vermicek, Yossi Dahan, Luke Purser, junior Jao Guerrero, and freshman Eric Gran. In doubles competition, Purser and sophomore Vasilis Vardakis grabbed a victory, as well as Dahan and junior Paul Virgili Blanco. The next day, the Gwins traveled to Cleveland to take on the Birmingham Bearcats. However, Youngstown State struggled to find a victory. Vermicek, Vardakis, and Dahan took home singles victories. Guerrero and Vermicek were the only duo to claim the doubles win. The squad will travel to Syracuse, New York on Saturday to take on the Colgate Raiders.
The women's basketball team went 2-0 over the weekend to finish their undefeated streak at home in Horizon League play. On Friday, the Gwins won the tough in the conference battle, defeating Green Bay 70-59. Chelsea Olsen led the team with a superb stat line of 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists. The women later followed on Sunday with a senior day win over Milwaukee 67-47. Senior Allison Smolinski went 6 of 7 from three-point range to finish with 21 points. Defensively, the Gwins shut down Milwaukee, holding the Panthers to shooting just 32.4% from the field. The women will finish their regular season with a 3-game road trip starting at Northern Kentucky Friday at 7 and then Wright State on Sunday.
The men's basketball team stayed hot this past weekend, extended their win streak to 6 games with wins against IUPUI and UIC. On Thursday night, the Gwins beat IUPUI 75-73, secured by a 3-pointer by junior Donnell Cathcart III with just seconds to go. Freshmen Jelani Simmons and Darius Quisenberry each dropped 17 on the night, while sophomore Michael Akuche scored a career-high 14 off the bench. Following that close win, the men went on to beat UIC 81-73. Quisenberry led the team once again with a career-high 37 points, which was also the highest by a player so far this season. His performances were enough to earn him Nike Horizon League Freshman of the Week for the 3rd straight week. Quisenberry is the first freshman to score more than 35 in a game in 40 years for the program. This win gave the Gwins 6 straight for the first time since the 97-98 season. The Penguins play tonight at Northern Kentucky at 7 p.m. and on Saturday at 3 p.m. at Wright State. Both games can be heard on 570 WKBN, and Saturday's game can be watched on ESPN3. Now for more getting into the men's basketball team, we're going to head over to the Roundtable where Dom and Monica have more.
What's going on, everybody? Dom Joseph alongside Monica Kurjan here to talk some men's basketball. Monica, 6-game winning streak. Unbelievable.
It's crazy. You know, this is the first time that they've done so since the 97-98 season, and those 6 wins came against Oakland, Detroit Mercy, Milwaukee, Green Bay, IUPUI, and UIC.
I mean, these are very good teams in this conference.
They are very good teams, and 4 of those wins came at home. And if you look at us at the beginning of our season, we weren't doing too well at home, so it's nice to get those wins on our own court.
And you mentioned playing at home. I mean, 4 of the 6 were at home, and we talked about this earlier. Just being able to protect home court was a struggle at the beginning of the year for the team, and now they're able to do it.
Being home should be an advantage, and it's nice to see the team finally being able to get those wins in front of big crowds too.
Exactly. I mean, against UIC, the last game of this homestand that they had, it was the biggest crowd we've seen in years. I mean, mascots running everywhere, kids everywhere. It was a packed house for the Beagley Center.
The atmosphere was amazing. Everyone was cheering. Everyone was loud. It was really the place to be on Saturday.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about some of the stars in this team. One of them being Darius Quisenberry, who's only a freshman and is 3-time freshman of the week. Unbelievable play by him.
It's crazy. Like you mentioned, he was a freshman. He's had some standout performances, especially on Saturday. He scored 37 points, and that's the first time that a freshman has scored more than 35 points in 40 years. That's pretty special.
Yeah, that's unheard of, the way Darius Quisenberry's been playing. But, I mean, he's had help. Donnell Cathcart III, Michael Akuche, Devin Morgan, they've all been playing great coming off the bench.
They have all been playing phenomenal. Devin had that winning shot against Detroit Mercy, the three-pointer. Cathcart had himself a winning shot. They're just stepping up when they need them.
And the one thing that these guys all have in common is they can hit from 3. And I mean, that's been the breaking point, and they actually broke the school record for most threes in a single season.
They did break the school record. The record before was 270 from 2011 and 2012, and they broke it at 271. And what's the good thing is they're 14th in the NCAA in three-pointers.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, you've got to think of everyone they're competing up against, and they're placed 14th. But one of those guys I want to mention is Devin Morgan. Monica, he'll pull from anywhere. It's unbelievable.
He will. He's shooting threes night and day. Against Detroit Mercy, he had 3 threes. And he only had 11 points that game, so 9 of those points came from three-pointers, and he also shot 5 threes against Milwaukee when he scored a game-high 21 points.
Now, the one thing that all these games have in common is they've all been coming down to the wire, which, I mean, sometimes you don't want that to happen, but at the end of the day, this is great clutch basketball by the Penguins.
And it's nice to see them taking away those when they're behind earlier in the game, being able to come back in the end and pull through with those wins when it really matters.
So let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. They're at Northern Kentucky, at Wright State, then home against Cleveland State. It's going to be a big test, Northern Kentucky and Wright State.
Yeah, Northern Kentucky and Wright State are number 1 and number 2 right now, so this is going to be a real test to see if the team can compete together against really good teams.
All right, well, that's going to do it for me and Monica. We'll send it back over to Chris and Matt. I'm Dom Joseph, signing off from the Roundtable.
Thanks, guys. The softball team has a very busy weekend ahead, with 5 games slated for Friday through Saturday at the UNC Charlotte Tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina. They kick off the tournament against Winthrop and tackle the 49ers later that day. Saturday will start with a 10 a.m. game against Lehigh and end the day early with a second battle against Winthrop. Sunday marks the end of a tournament with a final matchup against Lehigh at 10 a.m. We wish the Gwins the best of luck this weekend, and be sure to check back next week for stats, outcomes, and more.
The baseball team traveled to Mississippi State for their opening weekend. The Gwins dropped all 3 games in the series against the number 9 team in the country. In the first game on Friday night, the Gwins had a comfortable 3-0 lead going into the 6th inning. Trevor Wiersma started off the season strong for the Gwins with a 2-run bomb in the 4th inning for the team's first lead of the season. YSU then allowed 14 consecutive runs to Mississippi State, dropping Game 1. Then on Saturday, the Penguins' schedule changed to a doubleheader against the Bulldogs. Unfortunately, they lost both games. Once again, in the second game, the Gwins jumped out to an early lead. Blaze Glenn blasted a 2-run bomb in the top of the first to take an early 2-0 lead. The Gwins would have early leads in games 1 and 2, but would not be able to keep them. The men will try to bounce back this weekend as they travel to play the Florida State Seminoles in Tallahassee. Be sure to check out YSUsports.com for live updates and scores.
This weekend, the Gwins continue competition at the IUPUI Horizon League Championships. The team finished in 7th place at the end of the 4-day meet. Sophomore Ida Urinovich placed 4th in the end of competition in the 400 IM with an impressive time of 4 minutes and 31.57 seconds. In addition to this, sophomore Casey Prentice set a new score record of 56.62 seconds in the 100-yard butterfly. This will be the conclusion of the 2018-2019 season for the swim and dive team. Congratulations to Ida, Casey, and the rest of the team on an outstanding 2018-2019 campaign.
Hi, I'm Monica Kurjan with Penguin Rundown, and we're here in Kilcolly seeing how much YSU students know about their sports teams. Which YSU men's basketball player was named Horizon League Freshman of the Week 3 weeks in a row?
Is it Hugh Jackman?
Mitchell Russ.
Mitchell Russ? I can't say I ever heard of him.
Darius Quisenberry?
Correct. Who is the head coach of the softball team?
I have no idea.
Daniel Weinberg.
Wrong.
Brian Campbell?
Correct again. Wow, look at you go. What nationally ranked team does the baseball team face this weekend?
West Virginia University.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
Close, but it's Florida State. Just a couple states away.
Okay, yeah, not bad.
Florida State.
Correct. The women's basketball team honored 3 seniors this past Sunday. Can you name one?
Allison Smolinski?
Absolutely not.
Allison Smolinski, Sarah Cash, and Melinda Trimmer, who Melinda Trimmer actually got proposed to right after the game.
Aw.
And last but not least, which of the following do you think will be our play of the week this week? Donnell Cathcart III's last-second three-pointer, Trevor Wiersma's 2-run home run, or Lucas Nasanti's diving catch?
Definitely the diving catch.
The 2-run homer.
Diving catch. The last one.
The diving catch?
Oh, absolutely the three-pointer.
The three-pointer, it's gotta be. Guess we'll just have to watch this week's episode to find out. So thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica, for that Man on the Street segment. Now, last Friday, the track and field team competed in the Akron Zips Invitational as the last competition before the conference championship this upcoming weekend. Chad Zallo, Jalea Elliott, Caitlin Merwin, and several others came away with first-place finishes in the meet at Akron, as well as a number of second- and third-place finishes. As mentioned before, the Gwins are set to host the Horizon League Indoor Track and Field Championship inside the Watts on Saturday and Sunday, where both the men's and women's teams look to defend their title from last season. For a full list of events for the weekend, be sure to visit ysusports.com.
All right, now we're going to send it over to Richie Giuliano with Play of the Week. Richie, take it away.
Thanks, guys. This week's Play of the Week is Donnell Cathcart III's go-ahead 3 against IUPUI. Let's go over to the Beagley Center and take a look. Darius Quisenberry drives baseline, Cathcart for the lead. He's got it! But with 5 seconds to go, IUPUI still got a chance to win it. On the other end, that 3 is up. It is no good! YSU is able to hang on and continue their win streak here at the Beagley Center. Congratulations to Donnell Cathcart III on his game-winning three-pointer. Matt, Chris, back to you guys.
Thank you, Richie. Man, really exciting time for the men's and women's basketball team. Really getting into the swing of things here approaching conference play.
Yeah, definitely. Youngstown really starting to become a nice basketball city.
And it's absolutely exciting to see, especially this time of year.
Yes.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on the Penguin Rundown. For news, highlights, and more, be sure to check out ysusports.com. And don't forget about us on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat at Penguin Rundown 1. I'm Chris Colella.
And I'm Matt Ganser.
We'll see you guys back here next week.